Good evening. Welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. Tonight you're with me, Rungtip Chonapalai. In the early hours of this morning, 4 people died and at least 11 people were injured in a fire in a bar on the island of Phuket. This latest tragedy is the latest in a number of recent incidents that have tarnished the reputation of one of Thailand's premier tourist destinations.
The dead include 2 women and 1 man, but police said the bodies were too badly burnt to identify. 4 French nationals were among the injured. One of them remains seriously ill in hospital. The Tiger pub on Patong Beach, which also houses a discotheque, was reported to be close to collapse after the fire, which broke out shortly before 4 a.m. this morning. Police said the cause of the fire was probably due to strong rainfall causing a high-voltage transformer to explode, with the resulting fire spreading to the pub. The process of identifying the 4 people who died in the blaze will begin in earnest tomorrow with the arrival of experts from Bangkok. Anyone worried about a missing relative or friend who might have been in the disco at the time of the fire is urged to call either Patong Hospital on 076 342 633 or 076 342 634, or for non-Thai speakers, the Patong Tourist Police Volunteer Line on 1155. That's 1155. Hugh Adams, Thai PBS.
Thank you, Kun Hugh. Authorities are still in the process of gathering more evidence relating to the car bomb that went off in a municipal parking lot in Panaret sub-district of Pattani province yesterday afternoon. The explosion was preceded by a spree of arson attacks in over 10 locations around the province. Officials believe that the unrest was instigated by a separatist group, or RKK. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister affirmed that she had instructed both policy and the operational units to step up security measures in the far south. Authorities are racing to collect more evidence relating to a spree of arson attacks and explosion in Pattani province over the past 2 days. In more than 10 attacks, 2 convenience stores in Nongchik district and a petrol station in Kokpo district were severely damaged. Police Major General Pichet Piti Setpan, Chief of Pattani Police, revealed that authorities still cannot identify the group of insurgents, but believe that a separatist group, Branda Kampulan Kesel or RKK, is associated with the bombings. At the initial stage of investigation, authorities discovered that the vehicle used in the car bomb in Panaret sub-district of Pattani province yesterday afternoon was driven from Bangkok. However, they still cannot identify the owner as the vehicle was not reported stolen and fake license plates used. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra announced that she had ordered policy and the operational units to heighten security levels in the violence-prone south so that operations can be carried out efficiently. The protective measures must strictly abide by the law without any use of violence to avoid aggravating the situation further. The Prime Minister also stressed the need to establish operational plans following every insurgent attack, especially in gathering evidence in the most efficient way possible. During the 3rd and final day of the budget debate, the opposition whip has requested documents detailing the flood management and emergency budgets. The budget debate is expected to end early Saturday morning. During the last day of the 2013 budget debate, Julian Laksanavisit, opposition whip, requested documents relating to and expenditure details of the 1.2 billion baht flood management budget and emergency budget. As of now, Julian said that he has already received the flood management budget identifying provinces which received the budget but nothing in detail. The opposition party whip went on to say that the budget committee has to provide this information, otherwise it would be seen as hiding information to avoid investigation. Meanwhile, Vithaya Buranasiri, deputy chair of the budget committee, said that more than 30% of the flood management budget detail has been sent to the opposition party, and he will be responsible for following up with the remainder. Today, the budget debate also focused on the budget for the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives, and Ministry of Transport. The budget debate is expected to end early Saturday morning. the Commerce Ministry is in the process of issuing terms of reference or TORs for the state's rice auction as part of the government's plan to release a stockpile of rice to both domestic and foreign traders. At the same time, the ministry will propose to the cabinet the opening of a special round of rice pledging for farmers who missed out on the opportunity to pledge their rice because their crops were ruined by last year's floods.
Commerce Minister Bunsong Teriyapirom said he is urging the Department of Foreign Trade to issue terms of reference or TOR quickly for the state's rice auction so that the government can start releasing rice to both domestic and foreign traders. At the moment, the department is concluding the details of the method of releasing rice in the form of government-to-government or G2G contracts, a process which is expected to be finalized this month. Additionally, the ministry is preparing to propose the cabinet that they open a special round of rice pledging for farmers who missed out on the opportunity to pledge their crop with the government after their crops were ruined by last year's floods. If approved, it is predicted that these farmers will pledge around 1 million tons of rice. Meanwhile, the new round of rice pledging, which is to begin this October, will see several changes to the regulations, including the stationing of more authorities at pledging spots and the installation of CCTV cameras to reduce the problem of corruption, as well as the amount of poor quality rice entering the program. Even though Bunsong admitted that the government is unable to completely solve the problem of graft despite strengthening the regulations, the rice pledging scheme must continue to assist rice farmers.
Transport Minister said that Don Muang Airport will be ready for full operation on October 1st. Meanwhile, AirAsia is scheduled to move both its domestic and international services to Don Muang Airport. AirAsia has decided to move its Thailand operations to Don Muang International Airport to avoid the congestion and flight delays at Suvarnabhumi Airport. Thasapon Belevo, the CEO of AirAsia, said that they are working very closely with the Airports of Thailand PLC or AOT to make sure that moving process goes smoothly. AirAsia will operate from Don Muang Airport from 1st of October.
Don Muang Airport is a much smaller airport and there will be more efficiency for the airline to operate, and also there will be less distance to walk. So I'm sure that people who used to fly out of Don Muang would like Don Muang better because it's convenient to go in and out for both the passengers and also for the airline.
During a conference at Suvarnabhumi Airport today, Jarupong Rungsuwan, Transport Minister, stressed that Don Muang Airport is ready to operate as planned, and there will be a weekly meeting to ensure that the operations will run smoothly and to follow up the progress of the development of Suvarnabhumi and Don Muang airports. Marisa Pongpatanapan, chairperson of the Airline Operators Committee, pointed out that shuttle buses will be provided to link Don Muang and Suvarnabhumi Airport for passengers and staff to commute conveniently and safely.
We already, come in line already, come between each other. All the concerned party cooperate in this. Yes, and it's gonna be great. But anyway, as I mentioned in my speaking, that the majority, the main issue should be concentrated on the Suvarnabhumi Airport. This morning information, it's helped a lot for the airlines to be confident in moving to Don Muang.
The AOT plans to invest in a third runway at Suvarnabhumi to reduce congestion. The new runway will be 4,000 meters long and paved with 73 centimeters thick. And is estimated to take 30 months to construct. The airport operator expects to handle 52.2 million passengers this year. The Secretary General of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, or UNCTAD, forecasts that the economy of the Eurozone will experience negative growth of 0.7% this year and a negative 1.3% economic contraction in 2013. He added that the world economy will depend on Asia and that Thailand's exchange rate is going into the right direction. At a conference on the new challenges for Thailand and in the new era Pagoda of Global Trade and Investment, organized by the University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce. Supathai Panichapak, Secretary General of the UNCTAD, insisted that if nothing is done to seriously reform the debt problem in Greece, the Eurozone economy risks collapse. This is because the financial assets of the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, are now tied up helping the debt-laden European countries. The world economy will therefore be supported by Asia, where large reserves of capital remain. At the same time, the Secretary General expressed worries about the differing regulations between ASEAN countries, which will pose a significant challenge to regional integration due in less than 3 years' time. The green economy has been highlighted by economists from the ADB because of its significance in the sustainability and growth of megacities in Asia. I spoke with the ADB's chief economist, Dr. Chang Yong-ri, and Dr. Laksamut Attapit, senior economist of ADB's Thailand Resident Mission, who stressed that there is no free lunch for the green economy, and it is time for a country like Thailand to start planning ahead of time before Bangkok is turned into a megacity in less than a decade.
Because together with mass urbanization, this can cause a huge problem. And because the speed of urbanization is quite unique in Asia. For China, it took 61 years from urbanizing from 10% to 50%. On the other hand, most European countries take 150 years. So that many Asian cities actually has no time to prepare the good infrastructure. That is a cause of the recent flood in Thailand, Manila, and the Beijing. So together with rapid urbanization, the global warming and the problem of the climate change can cause huge problems into Asia.
But in Thailand, you think that we are ready for the green economy?
We have to be ready because we are urbanizing very rapidly, and there is cost attached to that. There is risk attached to rapid urbanization. CO2 emission, for example, development of slums, for example. So we need to be ready and deal with it.
But within ASEAN and in Asia, the samples of megacities, you think that they have already done something towards the green economy?
Yes, actually, if you see the recent urban planning in China, they really try to exploit the latecomers' advantages because they're building the new cities. From the beginning, they try to incorporate green aspect, green technologies. And another good example is that Kawasaki City in Japan. They try to renovate the old cities by incorporating some new idea of recycling. So one waste from one industry can be an input for the other industries. And mass transportation system in Shanghai and using natural gas in Delhi, in Bangkok, really contribute a lot of clean air. So many things are going on.
But if we want to be the green economy, then it has to be involved with a lot of budget. Have you been discussed with the authorities and the Ministry of Finance, ADB?
Of course, we need investment in infrastructure for Bangkok to be green. And Dr. Lee emphasized the importance of this investment, and he said nothing is free. So tax collection, revenue collection for investment is important. Polluters pay principle is something that we should also consider.
The continuous rain and heavy winds continue to wear away at the ancient pagoda of the Temple of Dawn. However, archaeologists say that the iconic structure can be fully restored by 2014. The torrential rain and heavy winds over recent months have been eating away bit by bit the famous Temple of Dawn's 160-year-old pagoda. Just recently, a whole structure on the northeast side of the structure collapsed due to weather damage. The Department of Fine Arts found that at least 2 major pieces of the century-old monument had fallen off in recent months. Experts say that the repairs to the damaged pieces will take at least 3 months. The repair work will be done using the cement mixture the original architects used at the time of the original construction. On top of the rain, fungus, moisture and weeds have also taken a toll on ancient structures across Southeast Asia. The last major renovation of Wat Arun's main pagoda was 15 years ago and cost about 44 million baht, and at that time, the next major renovation of the Temple of Dawn's main pagoda will be in 2014, and this time will cost at least 11 million baht. The Temple of Dawn, located on the west side of the Chao Phraya River, is a must-visit destination of tourists. Here at ThaiPBS News, we have new job opportunities for English language reporters. For the English news service, to find more details, please visit the ThaiPBS website. And if you are interested, send your resume to us at job@thaipbs.or.th. And that wraps up tonight's edition of ThaiPBS English News Service. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. I'm Nung Tip Chonapawai. สวัสดีค่ะ